Alright, in this video we are going to be going over every single thing we know about the new Battle Royale game mode coming to Grand Peace Online. Let's get straight into it. So, I'm going to be showing a lot of gameplay from a lot of different YouTubers because I don't have Tester and I don't have access to the Battle Royale game mode, so I'm going to do the best I can to show it. And I've, looked at a lot of these videos to try and figure out a bunch of stuff. But, yeah. So, in case you don't know what a Battle Royale is and you live under a rock, it's usually a large sum of players all dropping down into you're just fighting to the death, pretty much. That's the most vague definition, is a large sum of players fighting to the death, and the last group or person wins, right? That's it. Everybody starts with nothing. You loot. You get gear as you get better and better gear as you work towards the end. But yeah, so to go in depth, how it works is you will start on Enel's ship, which is actually a really cool thing. I really like that that's what they chose to be the ship that you drop from. I like that a lot. And you drop on a pretty big map. I actually am a really big fan of the map that they chose. And you start off at max level with absolutely nothing but I think basic combat, And you also start with none of your stats put in. So you get to make your own build as soon as you start, which is really, really, really nice. And I do like that a lot. They could have handled that a lot of different ways. It could have been the build that you have in main game. It could have been a build that you just start off with. But I do like the fact that, you just make it. The only thing I wish they did is I wish that you could set a starter build. That way, at the start of every game, this is the build that you start with. So you let's say you just really like starting with a specific build. You don't have to, constantly put it in again and again. So yeah, that's just a little pet peeve of mine, but it's perfectly fine that that's not how it is. Anyway, obviously there's a zone, there's a storm-esque thing like how it is in Fortnite, and the zone will close in, pushing everybody towards, a certain area in the map, doing a lot of damage. And you just loot. And how the looting works is that you can literally get everything from fighting styles to devil fruits to weapons, armor, boss drops, everything. You can get pretty much every item that would help you competitively as a boss drop. So I think that is also a really cool, a really nice way of handling it. I found it kind of weird that's how they decided to handle fighting styles as well. But hey, I can't really imagine any other way of doing it. You can also find armament hockey. I don't believe observation hockey is a thing in Battle Royale, but it could be. I'm not 100% positive, but I do know that Buso hockey, armament hockey, is found in chests just like any other item. So that is really cool. I don't really know how I feel about it though, because it's if somebody gets a Logia early game, finding armament hockey and beating them up is going to be a little difficult, but hey, it is what it is. I don't think armament hockey is that rare of a thing to find, so everybody should be having it late game anyways. And also your chances of getting your hands on a Logia are pretty slim as well. Not saying that I'm just saying you won't be able to probably get one every single game based off of what I saw. So yeah. But another thing I do like is that you can find SP resets and dark roots. So if you get a devil fruit at the start, Tsuke, and then you find Tori later, you can just reset it. And if you don't like the build you started off with, because obviously you weren't preparing to use a devil fruit, so your build isn't really supporting a devil fruit, you can just swap up the build too. I like that a lot. I do just really like a lot about this Battle Royale game mode. There are a few other interesting things about it. One of those things being that I don't believe that there is observation hockey in the Battle Royale game mode, which I do kind of like, because I don't know if it's just me, but observation hockey in GPO is not something I've ever really liked that much. It's something that you can't really execute very well, or at least it's something that I've never seen anybody execute really well in One Piece games, or I've never seen people have the idea of how to execute it any better. To me, it's just that observation hockey always feels like it's breaking up the flow of PvP. It just makes it feel a lot awkwarder. I don't like really ever how it's executed, whether it's block fruits or GPO or any other One Piece game, because they all usually do it the same. People have had ideas like, oh, do quick time events or something like that, but I think that's just stupid. It would add to the problem just a little bit more and making it clunkier, making the PvP feel awkward again. So yeah, I don't know how how I feel about observation hockey being in Battle Royale, and it doesn't seem that it is in there. I could be wrong. Again, I just never saw anybody have it in the footage that I saw. Now, something that is very interesting is that there are no, well, not very interesting because it makes sense at first glance, but there's no diamonds above people's heads. So in PvP, in Arena, in 1v1s, 2v2s, 5v5s, there's always a diamond. You always know where everybody is. Obviously, in Battle Royale, you can't have that. It'll defeat the purpose of having a big old map and, you know, not really knowing where people are and stuff. So it's nice that that's not there. But with no observation hockey and no diamonds above people's heads, there's a certain fruit that's made just a whole lot better, which is Tsuke. Now, imagine that you are just some dude walking around and then all of a sudden you get swung on. I feel like that would add a really funny little element of surprise, as well as when you're in the final circle and then somebody's a Tsuke user just standing in the middle of it. It would honestly make for some pretty funny clips, some pretty entertaining content. So I really do like the fact that I'm pretty sure at least Tsuke is viable for Battle Royale. I think that's it. I think that's all we know about Battle Royale. What did I cover? We start off in an L ship, you know, drop wherever you want. Zone will come in just like every other Battle Royale, Fortnite, PUBG, etc. You can find devil fruits, fighting styles, weapons, armor, any boss drop, pretty much all of those, anything that gives you a competitive advantage. You can also, you know, Tsuke that whole thing. Yeah, there's not a lot to it. You know, you can find hockey, SP resets, stats at the start, all that stuff. It's really cool. I think that's really all we know about the Battle Royale game mode. I feel like I'm missing something, but I'm not sure. The last thing I really want to touch on is how this impacts GPO. Now, a lot of people have high hopes for it, but I've also heard the opposite from a lot of people. So me personally, I'm not very conflicted on this. I do feel pretty strongly towards the fact that Battle Royale will be fun, especially the fact that all of these testers are making a lot of videos on it. Again, they could be making these videos just because it's easy content, but I feel like a lot of YouTubers like Infernasu are making excessive amounts of videos on it, like going live. I think he's only actually made one video on his main channel about it, but he's been going live and like playing it, and a lot of other YouTubers have been doing the same. So I feel like they wouldn't be doing that unless it was a little bit fun. So I actually do think that this is an entertaining game mode, and it's not just like a waste of time. It's really nice to see them implement something good for once. Okay, that sounded a little harsh. They do implement good things, but something that has some level of replayability to it, I guess, is more what I mean. We always get stuff that doesn't have a lot of replayability, you know, fruits, islands, bosses, yada yada yada, and that's cool and all, and it's fun for like 2 weeks, but then nobody cares anymore. Great Krakens were sort of in the right direction, but I feel like it just wasn't enough. Not a lot of it's very hyper specific. It's not really fixated towards the entire player base, well, as I feel like Battle Royale can really help, you know, the whole player base, especially because the last thing I forgot to mention is that I do believe whoever wins the Battle Royale gets a legendary fruit or higher, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember where I heard that, but I'm pretty sure that's true, and it also would just make sense. You know, you're playing a ton of people, you win, you get a legendary fruit. Also, Battle Royale games are usually time-consuming. One round, you know, in a normal Battle Royale game, take upwards of like 20 minutes, so I can only imagine GPO probably take anywhere between 15 minutes to half an hour to do one. So I feel like a legendary, you know, something that you have a slim chance of winning, I feel like a legendary is a good like reward. So I do like that a lot. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this Battle Royale game mode. I'm gonna be playing it. I'm gonna make videos on it. Whether or not I make videos on it, I'm probably still gonna be playing it. And who knows, it'll probably replace a lot of this just ranked PvP, not ranked, but this arena PvP footage in the background. So watch out for that. That's it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.